Hi everyone. We here at Drug Free Fayette would like to present to you, the Fayette County community, a series of short videos that give some personal messages about how COVID-19 is impacting substance use and recovery and mental health and coping issues in general. We hope that these videos by our coalition members and their friends, our friends, are helpful to you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Andra Prowant, and I'm with Arise Counseling and Coaching and the Drug Free Fayette Coalition. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about emotional intelligence and give you a practice that will help you to improve your mental health. If you've never heard of emotional intelligence, it's basically blending your thinking and your feeling to make the best decisions. It is backed by neuroscience, and these skills influence up to 80% of our health and well-being, as well as our effectiveness and relationships. Staying mentally fit takes energy, intention, time, and commitment, just like physical fitness. And the more that you practice or exercise your mental muscles, the easier it becomes. It is really a worthy investment. In fact, it's one investment that you can really count on in times of uncertainty or unexpected change, like we're experiencing right now with the COVID crisis, or just setbacks in life, because these things can trigger those uncomfortable yet familiar feelings, and then we relapse back into old patterns of behavior, or we react. Well, using the skills of emotional intelligence assists us in moving forward so that we don't get stuck, or if we do, we don't stay stuck. Often clients and others that I talk to about emotions tell me how complicated they think they are. And they can be, because there's so much going on below the surface of our conscious mind. But one thing that we can do to begin learning and understanding is that emotions are energy in motion. They are chemical messages that are signaling us to pay attention, which really debunks the myth that I think a lot of us have been ingrained with, that emotions are either good or bad or a sign of weakness. And of course, they can become toxic if we dwell on them long enough, but they begin as valuable information. It's like if your fire alarm went off in your house, would you ignore it? Or if there was a fire and you did ignore it, what would happen? When the signal goes off, we normally go check it out to see, is this a real fire, or do the batteries need to be changed? And that's what emotions are. They're signals for us to go check out, not to ignore. And with that being said, one of the foundational skills of emotional intelligence is self-awareness, because we can't change what we don't or won't acknowledge. And when we begin to notice and name our feelings, then it soothes and calms the emotional center in our brain. So we say we name them to tame them. And as simple as that sounds, I find that most of us growing up didn't learn how to identify and manage our more complex emotions, and so we get excessive or suppressive with them, which only creates more emotional confusion, and left unchecked can lead to lots of problems such as anxiety, depression, or other mental ill health. And then that only fuels the temptation to escape or possibly numb with substances. So let's say that because of this COVID crisis, that you are out of work and you're feeling stressed and or depressed. With the mindset that emotions are valuable information, allow yourself time to reflect without judgment on what other emotions could be going on. It's often helpful to use a emotion wheel like this one to pinpoint more complex emotions, or to actually expand your emotional vocabulary. And I will put a link to this so you can find it easily online. But stress often creates a fear response. So could you be feeling maybe fear of the future, or possibly just feeling powerless over it? Or with all the changing information, maybe you're feeling disillusioned about everything. Just remember to explore and name them to tame them. And then what is the message of this emotion? Often fear is giving us the message that something that we care about is at risk. Or if we're depressed, depression is signaling for us to find some hope somewhere. I encourage you to write down or journal not only what you're feeling and exploring in the messages of the emotion, but also the circumstances around them, so that it can bring more clarity and you can begin to recognize any patterns of response. The point is to start reflecting, not to have all the answers. And the more that you exercise your mental muscles, the easier it will become. Be sure to stay safe and healthy out there.